we are backstage at the Buffalo Chip and on the George Thorogood tour bus. And who else would we have on the George Thorogood tour bus but the man himself, Mr. George Thorogood. Good to see you, George.
Eddie.
Thank you for a few minutes.
You're welcome.
And tell us about playing the Buffalo Chip in Sturgis. How many times have you done it?
It's the fifth time.
Fifth time.
Mm-hmm.
Your music, of course, though, has become so iconic, and I'm sure that in a lot of ways these people really appreciate where you come from musically and what you do. So when you do shows like this, I'm sure there's a great outpouring of fan support. Not that there wouldn't be anywhere you play, but in a setting like this, do you agree that your music really lends itself to an event like this, that people really come out for it? More so than anywhere else, maybe?
I don't know about more so than anywhere else. They are appreciative. One of the first or second times we played here, I didn't think people liked us because no one was applauding. And we do a song, they're applauding, and they kept revving their engines and revving their engines, and I thought they were leaving. I said, well, they don't like me, they're leaving. And so Adam Condi, our tour manager at the time, said, no, that's how they applaud here.
Yeah.
Because they kept doing it louder and longer and louder and longer, and I was waiting for them to stop. And I was thinking, well, they're leaving. You know, because of the lights, I can't see what's going on, you know, so. And he said, finally, they hit me to it about 3/4 of the show, and I said, no, I was getting ready to walk off the stage. They don't want me to, maybe they're booing me. He said, no, that's the biker's way of showing appreciation of what you're doing. They don't applaud, they rev their engines.
Your music over the years, I mean, you have played so many shows, and you're out there playing live, and it just, I think the music you made lends itself so well to the live stage. You still enjoy touring? You still enjoy all of this and being out there on the road after all these years?
No, Eddie, it's really a pain for these people to pay top dollar and adore me and ask for autographs, and you know, constantly ask me what.
But the experience of the travel.
If it was that way, I'd stop.
But a lot of the artists I talk to, they're like, we love everything except for the part of the other 22.5 hours of the day.
Well, there's a yin and yang to everything. You can't have it all perfect.
Right.
But it's not enough to make me stop.
Right, right.
You know, it would have been if things hadn't improved over the last 20, 25 years. We didn't have buses like this. Right. We didn't have the hotel accommodations or the PA systems. Or the rock industry has just incredibly progressed so fast that people go to colleges to learn how to do it.
One last thing before we let you go, George, because you do have to get ready to play here. You, of course, have written yourself some great songs as well. Maybe none more famous than the iconic classic riff to Bad to the Bone. Can you give the viewers just how that came to you, the story of that riff, the story of that song in a nutshell? Do you remember, was it something, you know, do you remember how it came to you?
Again, that was a very common riff that was it's kind of a, it's kind of a alternative thing to that riff that Bo Diddley and Muddy Waters did, which we did very well, but we didn't have any words to it. And we were always playing it in a sound check. And I wanted to have a song that stuck out so we would have a signature piece. And the way the Giles Band has Love Stinks, or the Stones have Honky Tonk Women, that started off as soon as you hear the opening chord of Jumpin' Jack Flash or Sweet Emotion in the rock world. Right. Something that got your ear right away. And I said, well, I'll put a title on it that's catchy and funny. Because we put all those elements together, and as I was working on it, a man came up to me and said, I heard you're writing songs. And I said, this was in New Orleans, we were playing with the Rolling Stones and the Neville Brothers, and the man came up and said, well, I hear you're writing some songs. And I'm like, I was just starting to do that. And I said, yeah, I am. And the man said, well, if they're anything like Bone, you're going to do all right. I said, you mean Bad to the Bone? And he goes, yeah. I go, how do you know that? And he said, it's my job to know. Oh, by the way, I'm David Geffen.
Oh, wow. All right.
So I said, okay.
Yeah.
That struck a chord, to coin a phrase.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate the time, George. Everybody check out George's new album, Party of One, which is out now. And have a great show tonight.
Thank you very much, Eddie.
Appreciate it. Motorcycles are what Sturgis is all about, but at night is the home of some of the best live music you'll find anywhere. My next guest is one of the reasons for that reputation. All right, there is no way I could come to Sturgis, South Dakota, and not see a man who has told me and educated me so much about this great area of the country than my old friend from Jackal, Mr. Jesse James Dupree.
And he's drunk in the Black Heels, man. I love it.
How about it, man?
Welcome.
You've been telling me for the longest time you got to come to the Full Throttle, you got to check it out. So we made sure we stopped here. Place is amazing, man.
You know, we lost the Full Throttle Saloon, the original Full Throttle Saloon, a year ago, September, and it was $10 million worth of ashes and no insurance and a lot of hurt feelings because I mean we had 20 years of our life tied up into that, and we licked our wounds for about a minute. Then we realized the good news is nobody got hurt, nobody got killed. So we mustered it up and we moved down the road. Instead of 30 acres, which we were on 30 acres before, now we're on 600 acres, and we're just grabbing it by the boots and just bringing it up out of the ashes, the new Full Throttle Saloon.
So one of my favorite stories with Jesse, because he's been nice enough to have me come out on stage when Jackal has played and worked the chainsaw a little bit, but there was one year we were
Don't
at
be modest.
Rocklahoma.
You're actually a good chainsaw player.
I got that way because of him.
Got the knack.
We're at Rocklahoma one year, which I host every year. Jackal was headlining one year. So they start playing their set, I bring them on. I said, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna get a little break. So I take a golf cart, I go as far out as I can in the field. I'm sitting out my golf cart, just taking in the stage, taking
mile
the show.
away, yeah.
He's a mile away, on stage, in the middle of the Jackal set. And I hear him start calling me out. He started calling me out of the microphone.
And then 40,000 people going, Eddie!
and I'm sitting in a golf cart like a mile away. I go, is this crazy son of a bitch really calling me from the stage? You would not resume.
I did not stop.
He would not resume the show until I got on the stage, did a shot with him, and then break out the chainsaw.
That's right. And then I get fussed at because I ruined his new tennis shoes.
Yeah. Well, we're on stage now. We have the footage, and I'm carving it. But here's the best thing. People have asked me this so many times who've seen this clip, because it's going back now a number of years. People say to me, Jesse's in your ear while you're carving the stool. What does he keep saying in your ear? Tell him what you were saying.
Don't you fucking cut me.
Hey, man, congratulations on 25 years.
Love you, man. Thanks
Love you,
so much.
too. And 25 years of kick-ass music from these guys. They rock like nobody's business on that stage. And I've had plenty of chainsaw oil on my shoes from time to time when I go see Jackal.
Speaking of that, why don't you bring us on stage tonight? Let's do it. All right.
Let's see
Thanks,
what we
guys.
can do, man. All right. One of the coolest parts of the rally at Sturgis is the people, and the best way to experience this is to walk the grounds. You never know who you'll run into. Coming up, we'll spend some time with a few of them. First, I met a guy who traveled close to 2,000 miles in 28 hours to be here. So we're here at the Buffalo Chip. What's your name, man?
Joe.
Joe?
Joe
Good to
Max.
meet you, man. Where are you from?
Montreal.
Montreal?
Yeah, all from Canada.
Did you ride here?
Yeah.
How many years you been coming to the Buffalo Chip?
That's the second time.
Second time?
Yeah.
Now, I haven't been here in over 10 years, so I'm just taking it in. If there was one thing that I should do before I leave here, any recommendations?
Recommendation?
Maybe ride in this?
Yeah, right.
Ride in this?
Yeah.
Oh, we're taking out all his luggage now. Basically asking this guy to unpack his suitcase right now. You realize that, right? So my fat ass could get in his vehicle. Come on. Joe says I need a beer while I'm in here, though.
Want a beer?
You have a beer too? What car is that in? Oh, that's the one we need right
I
there.
have a helper, a caller.
That's what we need.
Don't you take my stuff?
Look, these guys couldn't have been better. What's your name, sir?
Andre.
Andre?
Yeah.
Thank you, Andre. Cheers. Cheers to you. All right, Joe. I'm getting ready. Let me see. Any way I should get in or just put my foot here? All right. Wow, I think a 6'2" guy is way too big for this, but we're gonna try. Oh.
There.
Oh, plenty of leg room. Hey, this is way more leg room than the plane I had to come here. Trust me. This is better than a first-class seat.
Where you live?
New Jersey.
Okay,
We're gonna drive to New Jersey? We're going from South Dakota to New Jersey with Joe, from Montreal with the Budweiser, leaving the Buffalo Chip, baby. Let's do it, Joe. Cheers. No wheelies. I'm Eddie Trunk, and this is TrunkFest at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. All right, I'm here with Tyler from Falcor Defense. Good to meet you, man. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on here at the Buffalo Chip.
So Falcor Defense, we're out of Kalispell, Montana, and we manufacture our own precision ARs. We got everything from small caliber 223 all the way up to the big boys, 300 Win Mag, 300 Norma. You ever shot one of those?
Let me tell you something, Tyler. I hate to break this to you, but I've only shot a gun one time in my life, and it was a handgun.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to have you shoot one of these today, and you're never going to want to shoot anything else again.
Well, I've only shot one time in my life ever, so what you're saying is I'm basically going in the deep end of the pool.
Yeah.
And this is all automatic.
It's all automatic, semi-auto, full auto, so we're going to get the whole deal.
All right, man, we're going to go for it. Let's see what happens.
Here.
All right, here we are. Quite a journey to get out here, but my gosh, look at that sky. Look at what we have here. This is an amazing setting just outside of the Buffalo Chip here in South Dakota. That's as beautiful as it gets. And Tyler, you were saying that this is your first time at Sturgis, right?
Yeah, this is our first time ever attending or being a vendor. So it's eye-opening experience. Yeah, for sure. It's it's been trying to figure out what the consumer base wants, but then also oh, hey, look at this concert over here.
Right,
or, let me put my sunglasses on so nobody knows what I'm looking at, So.
Oh, that's a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't
Keep it downrange.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, everybody, what's going on? Wow, that's amazing. First time shooting. TrunkFest, one episode and done because the host got shot. All right, Tyler, so this gun is called what?
This is called our Recce T23.
All right.
All right, it's also an AR-15. All right, you ready to do this?
Why not? Let's go.
All right, bud. You are
all right.
Ready to go.
This is ready to rock and roll.
Amen.
How much of a kick should I expect? Because I just want to know, I don't want this first shot, I'm flying backwards. Oh, I got it now.
All right, let's hit it again. Well, when in doubt, okay, if you can't get them on single, you just go your
Spray
happy space. There you go. Press release.
Oh, yeah?
Wow.
There you go.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Now, all the operation is the same. You have the same mirrored controls, the same safety, but this time the safety is a 45 degree. All right, so this is safe. Let's fire.
I'm just looking to successfully fire one right now. I'm not going to worry about where it's going. That's straight ahead into no danger. That's all I care about. We get one down, and then I'll look at aiming it.
I'll bet anybody here that you'll hit that target first round.
What target? Can't even see it.
Oh, you can see it through here. Anybody want to take me up?
I'll put $20 against you.
Okay, $20.
Did I get it? Ah! Son of a bitch! Oh, I got a great instructor right here, man. Let's go shooting, man. I'm ready to go.
Give it one more. There you go. Hit him again.
Wow. Amazing.
Cash in hand. Cash in hand.
That is. Well, I'm making the man money. Hey, of course, he spent about $300 on ammo to help me do it, but he made $20, so there's a little offset there. Thank you, man. That was an amazing experience.
Thank you.
It was very cool. Appreciate it, guys. Falcor Defense, killer stuff. All right, we're here in Sturgis, and I'm joined by Clint Ewing. Good to see you, Clint.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for taking some time out.
No problem.
And tell everybody about your role here at Sturgis and what you do with this bike.
Well, I play a small role here at the Buffalo Chip. I actually ride for Kawasaki, and they have me out here basically performing stunts throughout the week.
Talking about your stunts and the things that you do, You must have had some mishaps, right?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. Actually wrote about it in my book because I get so many questions about bones, but actually tried to set a world record here a few years ago through a tunnel of fire, and the bike's on display up there. It's melted, so I have third-degree burns from that.
Oh, wow.
Broken shoulders from other various accidents as well.
Was that the worst?
I think the third-degree burns was the worst because it's the most painful. It takes a long time to recover from something like that.
And last thing, are you able to make your living doing this? Do you do something else, or have you gotten to the point with this where you're well known enough that through sponsorships and stuff, that's how you make your living?
I think I've been really fortunate actually through the years. Yeah, I ride for Kawasaki and Dunlop tires and Speed and Strength and Bike Master, and so they pay my way, and then I go around the country and perform, basically.
Well, listen, man, stay safe.
Thank you.
And great to meet you.
All right, see you guys
Glenn
later.
Ewing, Buffalo Chip, Sturgis.
We're just minutes away from introducing you to a stuntman who's using Evel Knievel's 1972 Harley-Davidson to jump over a pit of rattlesnakes. But first, we're going to talk with a guy who's been putting together a motorcycles as art exhibit for the last 17 years.
All right, we're back here, of course, at the Buffalo Chip in Sturgis, and I'm joined by Michael Lichter. Nice to meet you, Michael.
Pleasure, Eddie.
Michael is a noted photographer in the world of motorcycles, and also, my understanding is you kind of curated all this, right? These are the bikes that you have photographed and sort of picked to be here this year at Sturgis,
That's right. This is the 17th year of doing a themed art and motorcycle exhibition. I started at the Journey Museum in Rapid City, and they built this building here for me. Moved up here about 9 years ago. Some of the builders in here I've known for a number of years. Not too many because they're pretty young.
Right.
But for example, Max Hazen, I've been aware of his work for 4 or 5 years. And he was in finance in New York City. And he just had enough of it and said he wanted to follow his passion. And he started building bikes by hand. He moved to California, Southern California, and he does creations like this on all different sorts of platforms. It could be Harley, it could be a Japanese brand, it could be all sorts of things. This one happens to be a KTM. It's a European brand. But people look at it and think that it's a really old antique motorcycle. I think it has a lot of feel from the 20s, early 30s maybe.
But there's still a modern vibe to it, too. It's kind of a hybrid, it seems like to me. It seems like there's definitely a retro feel, but to me there's also something in the angles that feels very modern.
Absolutely.
And what would a bike like this cost if I was to want to buy that sort of bike and have that built?
I would presume it's over $100,000.
Wow.
Another bike that I think was really interesting. There's another young builder, 23 years old, from Canada, one of 2 Canadian builders in the show. This is Jay Donovan's bike. And here's a case where I did not know Jay. I wasn't aware of his work, and he'd heard through the grapevine about it. So this year I had 37 builders instead of a max of 35 in the past, but I added a few people in the end. Jay was one of them. And he offered to bring it down. And this is totally hand fabricated. If you told me that the builder of this had 50 years of experience shaping metal, I would believe it. And the aluminum is exquisite.
Give me an idea, Michael, if you can. How many, on average, how many submissions do you get to be a part of this, to be at the Buffalo Chip and have a bike displayed here in this room?
I actually I keep my themes quiet until they're pretty full. I try to establish it and get it together in my head, and then I go out and reach out and invite people to be in here. So I extend an invitation to builders to come in.
Okay.
That's how it works.
And how many total do we have in here this year?
And we have 37 bikes and 20 artists represented on the walls.
Well, you guys have just seen the tip of the iceberg of the amazing bikes that are here all over the place here at Buffalo Chip, but in this building, curated by Michael. Amazing stuff. It's a pleasure to meet you, and
thanks, Eddie.
Great stuff. Well, as you can see and hear, what Sturgis and the Buffalo Chip is most about, of course, is motorcycles. And they even have motorcycle stunts that go on here. We're going to visit with a guy right now who's going to attempt to jump over a pit of rattlesnakes. His name is Doug Danger. Check it out.
My name's Doug Danger, world champion motorcycle jumper. Getting ready to jump a bunch of rattlesnakes with Evel Knievel's Harley-Davidson. We got a pit, and we're gonna fill it with rattlesnakes. I don't know how many rattlesnakes we're gonna have, but it only takes one. I'm very fortunate they let me use this bike. We pulled it out of the museum for about a week, and come up here and do the jump. It's a 1972 Harley-Davidson XR 750. This is the bike that Evel Knievel used to use for jumping. I've got to be going the exact right speed with this. If I'm 2 miles an hour slow, I'm going to be in the pit. I'm not just going to crash. I'm going to be in the pit. If I'm 2 miles an hour fast, I'm going to land so far down the landing ramp that I'm not going to be able to hang on when I land. And the last thing I think about when I'm going at that ramp is going to be, I sure hope they fed those rattlesnakes before this jump.
All right, now that you had a chance to get to know the man, let's take a look at the stunt.
All right, he's doing what we call